a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
As I got closer to the bottom, I saw 3 hippocampi, fish-tailed horses, swimming in a circle around an overturned boat. The hippocampi were beautiful to watch. Their fishtails shimmered in rainbow colors, glowing phosphorescent. Their manes were white, and they were galloping through the water the way nervous horses do in a thunderstorm. Something was upsetting them. I got closer and saw the problem. A dark shape, some kind of animal, was wedged halfway under the boat and tangled in a fishing net. One of those big nets they use on trawlers to catch everything at once. I hated those things. It was bad enough they drowned porpoises and dolphins, but they also occasionally caught mythological animals. When the nets got tangled, some lazy fisherman would just cut them loose and let the trapped animals die. Apparently this poor creature had been mucking around on the bottom of the Long Island Sound, and had somehow gotten itself tangled in the net of this sunken fishing boat. It had tried to get out and managed to get even more hopelessly stuck, shifting the boat in the process. Now the wreckage of the hull, which was resting against a big rock, was teetering and threatening to collapse on top of the tangled animal. The hippocampi were swimming around frantically, wanting to help, but not sure how. One was trying to chew the net, but hippocampi teeth just aren't meant for cutting rope. Hippocampi are really strong, but they don't have hands. And they're not, all that smart.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as a godly parent.
I'm Ray from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
I'm Matt from Cabin 12.
My sibling!
I am sandwiched between the Dionysus kids.
Oh, sandwiched? Oh, Charlie, you might want to rephrase.
Well,
Just big party energy today.
It's like a sandwich hug. That's what it is. I'm being hugged on either side. It's fine. I don't know how to phrase things. We're having some great energy here on the pod tonight. It's great.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so good.
We're making dangerous promises here.
Anyways, welcome, Matt.
Hello.
Good to record with you.
I know, I'm
Our
so excited.
wonderful patron.
Been looking forward to this all day.
Aw.
I'm so honored. Welcome to the chaos. We are here.
I thrive on chaos.
Don't we all? Oh my god, what are we going to be talking about in this chapter?
Well, the chapter is titled I Make a Dangerous Promise.
Did you write down a summary?
Yeah. Oh, I did. We normally do a little lead up. Anyways, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because I don't even know. I'm trying not to be spoilery, but at the same time, I feel like it is pretty safe to say that most people understand that there is some foreshadowing occurring, perhaps. And so that's why we might be a little cagey on this one.
I mean, like, it's weird because the promise is not even that big of a part in the chapter. It's just the title of the chapter.
Yeah.
This is mostly helping sea creatures. And then it's like, oh, hey, Nico.
Oh, hey, Nico, there you are. This one seemed a little short, compared to some of the other ones we've read recently.
It actually
I don't know, maybe, yeah.
I don't know, I felt like I was able to read it very quickly before this recording.
Oh yeah, it's very, very short. It's like a couple pages long. Just, you hit the key points and that was about it.
Seemed like it, yeah.
We got through it, and we have our buds here. Our good bud Blackjack.
All right. All right, well, a promise is made. Percy drops into the ocean. He tells us about his power set a little bit. We love that. He info dumps about how fishing nets can be really shitty. We find a sea cow, a literal sea cow. It's a cow. It's got a serpent tail, but like underwater. You understand. It's tangled up in a fishing net. That's why it was relevant. We try to free her, but she's spooked by Riptide. So with the help of some hippocampi, Percy gets her out of there. He calls her Bessie. It's very cute. And
Bessie.
And then Blackjack picks him up, and on his way back to his cabin, he's distracted by noticing Nico, who is pulling a Grover, quote unquote, and spying on Zoe and Bianca. My God, please.
I hated that phrasing.
Anyways, Percy puts on the invisibility cap, Annabeth's cap, you know, and also does some eavesdropping. Zoe reveals that the Stoll brothers played a sick t-shirt prank, and have laid Phoebe up in bed for weeks, like she's going to have open sores, and is now unable to go on this quest. It's kind of fucked up, guys.
It's so much more fucked up than you think. I will get to it in the mythology section.
Oh no. Oh Christ. Okay. Yeah. Zoe says she doesn't want to choose another member for the quest, and she says some cryptic things about that. They leave, and Percy reveals himself to Nico because he guesses correctly that Nico was planning on following them, and he's like, that would be a bad idea. And Nico's like, but you're gonna follow them, right? And he's like, well, yeah. Nico asks Percy to promise to keep Bianca safe, and Percy promises to try his best. I have nothing more to say about this.
Was it dangerous? I don't know.
The questers drive away. Percy wonders what the heck he was thinking, but Blackjack, the MVP, my boy, offers to give him a ride. Percy is now on the extremely dangerous quest, just like he wanted. Yay!
Love Blackjack.
We love Blackjack. That's my guy.
I also just imagine, like, Percy is, like, censoring him. Because I feel like he would swear a lot, honestly. Is that the vibe?
You're so right.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
He's got the 100%, like, strong New York accent, and then he's, like, swearing a ton.
Well, yeah,
That's
isn't it, like, it's described in the way, like, the words he uses, the way he talks, Blackjack is described as, like, it's almost like a gangster, a mob boss.
Yes.
So he would 100%
But
swear
he's, like, not
all
the
fucking
mob
time.
boss. He's the lackey, because Percy is his mob boss.
Yeah, you're
right.
Yeah.
That's what he talks like the boss because he wants to impress the boss, but he knows he's not the boss.
Correct. We have the vibes. It's so good. Well, God, I'm, like, excited for this, but I'm also like, I have feelings. So
I'm horrified. I'm so afraid.
As you should be, actually. So in this week's In Case You Mythed It,
Shish.
Oh, syncing that is gonna be great, isn't it? You always do it with me now, I
keep
swear.
doing that. I should just stop doing that. But I'm like, somebody's got to be your hype man. I feel bad that you have to do your own rim shot every time.
If we did like little noise effects, we would have one there, but we're not fancy enough for that.
Yeah, the noise effect be the sad trombone, just womp womp.
The smallest violin. Doo-doo. Yep. Okay. So we're going to talk about Nessus. And you know why he's important? He has a poison shirt.
Oof.
Yeah. So Nessus is a centaur, and his poison blood is what kills Heracles. Have we mentioned him a few times in this? I'm not sure. Like, you know,
he might have come up once or twice.
He might have come up already in you know, this.
The name
He's
sounds familiar,
a minor
sure.
character in Greek mythology.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So he's just this dude. He chills by a river. And his important thing in this story, so Heracles and his wife are crossing a river. His wife, whose name I have to try to pronounce. Okay.
Oh boy.
Deianira? Deianira? Sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at
That's
that.
a lot. It's a lot of vowels.
I really would not know.
It's 3 syllables, I know that.
I'm gonna call her D.
Deianira. That seems right to me.
Yeah.
Say it with
Heracles'
confidence
wife.
and no one will question it.
They're crossing the river, and what does Nessus do? He wants to have sex with her.
Ugh.
Yeah, so big.
Mythology.
So it's weird because, like, Heracles is supposed to be crossing the river with her, but I guess, like, he maybe crossed too fast, or, like, he was lagging behind. It's unclear, but
Or maybe he had to take one across at a time.
that might be it, honestly. That is probably it. So, yeah, Nessus he rapes her, as happens in the mythologies. And then Heracles shoots him with one of his arrows. And if you know from the Hydra story, he dipped his arrows in Hydra poison. So this man has been poisoned. And then I love this description on Wikipedia, in his final act of malice. Good shit. Nessus plays this great prank on Heracles' wife
super
Dee.
cool prank.
Super cool prank. You know, we have a poisoned shirt. So he tells Dee, as I'm calling her, to take some of his blood, so that Heracles will be her true love forever. Like, if he ever strays, just, like, you know, put this in his shirt and, like, you know, and then he will love you more again. Or some bullshit like that. But actually, it's poisoned because, like, he was poisoned with Hydra venom, so.
Yeah.
And what do you think there? What do you think happens? Heracles looks at another woman.
Because that's what all men do in Greek mythology.
Yeah, as they do.
Yeah, so Dee spreads the centaur blood on a shirt or robe or whatever the Greek wear, and he puts it on, but it's not killing him. It's just making it so much that he wants to die. Like, he's in so much pain.
Oh, oof. Great.
It's burning his skin. And so he lights his own funeral pyre. He has one of his friends light it for him, and then he just dives in.
Oh my god.
And then he becomes a god.
He died a noble death on a funeral pyre of oak branches. Okay, sure. I don't know how noble I would call it, personally.
Oh, you know who lit his funeral pyre? Philoctetes.
Oh, that guy.
Who is not a satyr.
He's just
a dude.
Not that actor. God, what is
He's not Danny DeVito.
He's not Danny DeVito.
Maybe he is. That part I'm not sure about, but I know he wasn't a satyr.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, like, actually, it's not even the centaur blood that's the poison thing here.
Yeah.
That's
I was noticing that in the story.
Yeah. Because
it seems like Rick missed an important detail here.
I don't know where the whole, like, just centaur blood thing he's getting here.
It may be something that Rick just kind of repurposed for this story and was like, hey, if you get this reference, good for you, because it's a deep cut.
It's a pretty deep cut, but also it relates to Heracles, who may or may not be important. There's also a grosser version, I think, that I've heard where it's not just his blood, it's also like his, you know, he did ejaculate. So it's gonna be some of that fun stuff in there too. It's just a mixture of all the great fluids on this shirt. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, I was poisoned with this. Y'all needed to be as well. It's a great story, isn't it? Isn't it? This is how Heracles died. Wouldn't you want to die too if you wore that shirt?
Especially in the second version, yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm just imagining Phoebe had a shirt like this, and goddamn, the Stoll Brothers are monsters, actually.
Yeah, bruh, that's so bad.
Yeah, that's why it's like, Like, as a silly prank with no context, that's already bad. But with the context, it's so much worse. It's so bad.
Yeah, when your sick prank actually injures someone, I think you have to go to jail.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I prefer the other pranks they do in, I don't know when it is, but like there's like a rhyming couplets one that the Apollo kids give people. I think I prefer that one. That was so much more fun.
That's from was that Last Olympian, because they're fighting over the chariot?
Yeah, I think so. Like that's just, you know, that's more of a spirit of a prank.
Harmless fun. Yeah.
It's not going to hurt you. It's just annoying. This is actually harmful to a person.
I'm just trying to figure out, where did the Stolls get centaur blood?
Well,
like,
Chiron?
did they just go up to Chiron while Chiron was sleeping
stabbed Chiron,
and like, jab him with a needle or something?
They stabbed him.
Or
Unless
if they just like
stock
held
it in
on
the
to
camp
it.
store and they were able to just lift that, but like, there don't seem to be any other centaurs around.
Well, if in this world centaur blood itself is poison, I assume they don't sell it at the camp store. You know?
I bet they sell some real bullshit at the camp store.
I'm hoping they sell some good keychains. That's just me.
This is a school where you have to climb a lava wall. Like, I'm
I've always-
saying it's not out of the question that they just sell poison.
I don't know if they sell poison. Maybe it's like in the attic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely in
That
the
they,
attic.
like,
Yeah.
have it around. I mean,
It
I
could be
suppose.
something in the attic, because we got in one of the earlier chapters where Percy was looking around at all the random shit up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
But
just
I've
have,
always
like,
been hung up on they have a camp store.
Yeah.
What are they doing to make money to buy things at the camp store? They are 12.
Yeah,
see.
Or
I'm
this book
assuming
14, whatever.
you just have to assume that some of them have some money and most of them just don't, and that it's not.
Well, I think
just-
we also know from from the last book, like Percy buys smuggled in Coke cans from a Hermes camper. So I guess they're
have an
bringing money
idea.
from somewhere.
I have an idea about the camp store, actually. Now my brain is thinking of fun things that are not money. So, like, when you do, like, you ever did, like a cute fun thing, like, in a classroom where, like, if you got a question right or something, they would give you, like, a little thing?
Like a little Monopoly dollar.
Yeah, like stuff like that, and that's what they actually use at the camp store. They don't use actual money, because it's like, this camp doesn't make money. So they're not going to charge the kids.
Also, they use drachmas and not American dollars.
Yeah.
Almost certainly. What's the exchange rate? That's another important question. Exchange rate on
you really
dollars to
gotta
drachmas.
wonder, right? Because they're like literally
It's
gold.
solid gold. It's also
Well,
magical.
we know, like, from Lightning Thief, he got, what was it, 20 drachmas and $100? This is like, are those supposed to be equivalent?
I don't think drachma is worth $5.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, no, that seems way too low.
Someone tells me a solid gold coin is worth a little more than $5. Just a little.
Just a little bit. Like maybe 501.
502 in a pinch.
Yeah, I don't know. The camp store does elude me sometimes, but like, I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
I don't think they make these children pay because they're not making money.
I have to assume that they do. Personally, I'm like, this camp sucks in a lot of ways. I think that they are just trying to extort money out of these children every once in a while.
They extort
I bet it
labor
was Mr.
from
D's
them.
idea.
Yeah, that's the strawberry fields.
Oh my god, let's get off this track.
Of the Eldest Gods, where we answer all the hard-hitting questions you have about the Percy Jackson universe.
Like, why the heck is there a camp store?
Because all camps have a store, that's why.
Especially with a huge contingent of Hermes kids who are known for being thieving little bastards.
Well, let's get to the chapter. We're on the beach, man, and we have a flying horse. Don't we love that?
We do.
Blackjack, or Trans King, as I will continue to say in every chapter he's in from now on.
Absolute icon.
Love him. Okay. Percy doing his little stunts here. He just plunges into the sea, and he
This
goes
is a
down farther.
low-key humble brag.
Farther than anyone else can. This boy, he's doing it. He is impossible. He's just at the bottom of the frickin' ocean, and he can see shit, but he can't see shit.
Yeah, there is some new information here, because we knew that Percy can drop into water from great heights. We knew that he can breathe underwater, and that he can, like, control currents when he's in the ocean and stuff. But we are learning that about the sight and about his ability to go into depths. No, maybe he mentioned that before. I feel like there is one other place where he dove deep before, but
maybe
don't
in Sea of
remember.
Monsters, but I'm...
Is it Lightning
I
Thief
can't
when
remember.
he's in the Santa Monica Pier and he
That's
hangs
true,
onto a
that's true.
shark to go meet the Nereid?
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
I don't
probably
know
the
if he's
deepest
been-
he's ever been.
Yeah, I don't think he's been quite this far down, especially with
I
the
don't
whole,
think he
like...
swam in Sea of Monsters, like, at all.
Well, the Siren chapter. There was
That's
definitely
the
this-
one.
I was like,
But
that's the one
a
that came to my
bay.
mind.
You know,
Yeah.
Siren Bay, so the
Yeah,
bay
he
is
didn't
going to have
go
more
Deep
shallow
underwater in
water.
that one.
Yeah. But like this, with the whole that he can see like the heat signatures thing, that's very cool.
Yeah, that's
to me.
exciting.
He's got some like Toph powers, but like the water instead, he can see with the water. She can see with the earth. I want them to talk about that now.
Okay, that is interesting, because that actually makes a lot more sense than, like, the way I was conceptualizing it. Because, like, if he is able to extend the water as part of his senses, then that makes a lot of sense to me. I was like, why would you have heat vision? Why do you have heat vision down there? Percy, where did you get heat vision from?
I know what you mean when you say heat vision, but still, when I think of heat vision, I think of like the lasers that coming out of people's eyes.
That's
what I think of whenever people say heat vision. I'd love it if Percy could shoot lasers, personally.
Yeah, I got the sense it's kind of like sonar almost.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fish thing. That's why. Because he's a fish boy. Percy is shark
sonic
boy.
wave with
Shark
my
boy.
mouth.
Wait, we had two different references going at the same time and I loved it. Oh, the sonic wave from my mouth, though.
Anyway, yeah. That I'm now headcanoning that the way that any of this works is that he is able to use the water as an extension of his senses.
So that means
that makes a lot of sense to me.
From now on, we're gonna assume that whenever Percy is in the water, no one can sneak up on him because he has perfect he can just see 360.
360.
Yeah. So nets suck. And they catch a lot of mythological animals, apparently.
Apparently. That sucks, man.
Yeah. I love that we keep getting, like, this, humans talk, like, every so often. Even when Grover's not around, we get some of that kind of stuff. Like, wow, humans are the worst.
Percy cares about the environment. He cares especially about the oceanic environment now, because he's like, I live here.
Yeah, I live here part-time at least,
Well, I bet part of it too is because he'll go in, like, we know he's gone into the ocean a couple times. He was in the Mississippi River. So we know he sees what we can't see from the surface. Like, he sees how gross the stuff in that water is. I think that's what makes him so much more interested and concerned about ocean wildlife and the ecosystem in particular.
Yeah. Because he's able to experience it firsthand.
Yeah, he knows exactly how bad it is.
My brain just went to Percy is a semi-aquatic mammal, therefore he is a platypus. So, yeah. Percy the platypus.
We're one letter off.
Yeah. It's so sad. So, what do we have here that's like trapped? It's a tangled creature and it's mooing. So Percy cannot understand cows.
I don't speak cow.
Yeah, it's a sea creature. It's like the only sea creature he can't understand that we've met so far. Like, what makes this one different?
That it's not like a sea creature, I guess. It's a cow serpent. That's not a sea creature.
It lives down there. It can obviously breathe. So
are we picturing the same thing? It's literally a cow head on an eel body, because that's the image I've got.
It says front half, and so I was
think
thinking
it's gonna
like
have like
little cow legs.
Yeah,
and then
it has
like,
little cow legs.
kind of cow mermaid, but longer tail because it's an eel body.
Like how a hippocampus is, where it's like the front half and then like the back half. I did try to draw him. I don't think I did this justice, but like I did try to draw Bessie. So, yeah, it's just a little cow. I think we need like a child of Hera or something, even though there are none, to talk to this, because she likes cows. Her children would talk to cows, right? This is how it works. Would. If your parent likes that animal, you can talk to it. Annabeth, why don't you talk to some owls?
I bet she does, and Percy just doesn't notice because he's clueless.
Okay. But owls would make the worst conversationalists. Like, they're so dumb. Like, their brains are so little, guys.
I'm going to that...
Owls are really, really stupid.
I'm going to that scene in that Tinkerbell movie where they all just talk to the owl for advice, and all he says is who. I think it's... Yeah, God.
I think it's also important, like, to think about, like, the hippocampi are kind of doing this, like, summoning circle around Bessie stuck in a net. They're just they're going around and around.
They're not helpful.
They're so useless. They do nothing.
They're just like,
they went and got Percy. They got an adult, so...
Yeah, they're all just
help
children.
Help it.
Like,
Percy's like, no shit.
Like, Master, you have thumbs. Help. We don't have thumbs. That's the only thing here. That's why Percy was helpful. Yeah, so...
Well, but the hippocampi end up doing the work in the end anyways, so really Percy's brain is what they needed.
That's true. He does have a bigger brain than them. By a little bit. It's full
just
of
a little bit.
Okay, when Percy has to talk to Bessie to be like, oh, you don't like the sword? Calm thoughts, seagrass, mama cows, vegetarianism.
Vegetarianism.
We love this.
Incredible.
He's just thinking about Grover. He's like, okay, Grover's a nature guy. What would he say to an animal in distress?
Enchiladas.
Cheese enchiladas.
Oh, good shit. Good shit. Yeah, so Percy just, the fact that he also names it Bessie, perfect. 10 out of 10. We love. Because she's a cow. What else would you name a cow?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
He's just saying words. He's just saying... He just is saying
it's
a
total
cow
word
name
vomit.
because...
Yeah.
Percy's just like, okay, we're gonna keep talking so that I can keep him calm, maybe.
Yeah. But he has to untangle the net and just keep on doing that, and it was like untangling his video game controllers.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Rick. You are so relatable to the teens.
Percy is like, what up, gamers? He's a gamer.
Joke's on you, Rick. All the remotes are wireless now.
Yeah, it was a little more appropriate in 2007 or whenever this was.
Yeah.
But even then, we still had a good number that were wireless. Like, the Wii would have just come out, and that was quintessential. Like, that was the wireless controller.
Yeah. Percy's also, like, not rich, so maybe he has, like, used video games, or, like, really
He's
old
playing,
ones
like, an
that his mom had.
N64.
I was about to say, like, my joke isn't even relevant because I still use wired controllers because they're, like, $25 instead of $70.
There you go, exactly.
Yeah, Percy's playing, like, a Super Nintendo in 2007 because he could buy it for $20.
This is absolutely canon.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, Sally had some old games or something, that's what he's playing. Sally is a gamer also. That's my headcanon, personally.
Well, we know Percy's a skater boy.
And he said, "See you later, boy." I'm sorry. I cannot.
Gosh.
So yeah, they say.
Anyways,
Bessie.
my mom
cow.
plays video games, so Percy's mom absolutely plays video games. Just like the same 3 games over and over, because my mom is Percy Jackson's mom. That's all. You can move on.
No, my mom was playing a video game earlier today. She bought a new Disney game and was playing that on her computer instead of doing work.
That's cute.
And I'm like, wow. You cannot talk when I play video games now. Yeah, so we saved Bessie. She's all good. And now we're gonna go back to camp, but Nico be creeping behind a column.
Okay, Nico is eavesdropping on his sister because he cares about her and he's worried about her. It is less...
I support
a lot
Nico.
less creeping than has happened in...
I don't support Grover. I support Nico because he's like, my sister, I never get to see her anymore. I hope she's okay. And Grover's just like, pretty girls.
Pretty girls who love nature.
Yes. He needs to be stopped.
He's so creepy. It's so creepy.
Yeah. It's been so bad this whole book.
We don't love it. Grover, this is where you're canceled.
I love how Percy's first thought is to do it's the very classic, what are you doing? But then he's like, oh, he's spying. I should spy too. This is definitely the move.
Well, he has the invisibility cap, so he can, so...
I love how
it works
Percy
out.
still sneaks with the invisibility cap. Like, he's 100% not used to it, so he still sneaks around.
I think you should sneak around when Zoe is involved, because she's a hunter. She's got some, like, good fucking senses. Yeah, I don't know, but are they...
Yeah.
They're at the dining pavilion, right? Are they just, like, sitting down at a table? Where are they? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, because they're at one of the tables, is what it says. So they must be, I guess they're sitting at the Artemis table or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know why, I just pictured, like, Percy just, like, sits down next to them. And just, like, just hands folded, like, watching what's going down. So, they're talking about the horrible fucking prank that the Stowe brothers...
Disgusting.
My god.
I've never wanted to cancel them more.
We got beat by
like
this
them.
girl in a game. Let's give her hives for a month.
Yeah, what
Like,
the
where's
fuck,
where's
guys?
the logic? There's such a huge jump.
Like, I get it, you guys got beat up, but, like, this is not equivalent. No. Just challenge her to a basketball game or something. Don't do this.
It is very Greek hero of them, though.
Mm-hmm.
That means they would still make it to Elysium with that. I don't like that. Yeah, so weeks. Don't like it. But she can't go on the quest. So goodbye, Phoebe. We'll maybe see you again someday. even though we barely saw you to begin with.
Yeah, she's never actually been shown in book, I don't think. She's only been mentioned
I think,
in this specific context.
yeah, like, I'm pretty sure she was the one who was beating up the Ares campers at basketball, but I'm not sure. And that's about all I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she has done some stuff, but not when named.
Exactly. So it's like, which one is she? There are like, I don't know, 50 hunters. We have 2 of them who matter, and they're Zoe and Bianca.
That's why it makes sense too that Phoebe's been written out of the quest. Is like, okay, good. We didn't care about her. Now we have 5 people going on the quest, assuming that Percy will be part of the 5 of the prophecy. We have 5 people we care enough about. We know stuff about them. We have a level of interest in them. That makes what's going to end up happening later more impactful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
whatever goes on during this great quest with no ominous prophecies whatsoever.
There are no deaths in the prophecy at all.
No.
No deaths.
None whatsoever. I also do like that Bianca and Zoe are like, oh yeah, the prophecy's already in motion. This was the land without rain. And
It's
we're
such
just
a
like,
stretch. It's
we're just
such
like,
a
oh no,
stretch.
Percy's going on the quest.
I like the
so.
logic, though, because it has been mentioned that is a feature of the camp. Like, it's not, like, out of nowhere, but even there, like, that is dubious.
I mean, that would totally make sense if they had already started going on the quest, but they haven't moved, so...
Right, the quest hasn't actually started yet.
And...
I think it's Zoe making a stretch on it because she doesn't want to invite anyone else.
Yeah.
She's just like, people are gonna die. Let's just leave Phoebe by herself. Let's just not go. Not do that. Yeah, so Zoe's also keeping secrets from Thalia still. And she knows some shit about the general.
Capital G
Right.
General, too.
I wanted
guy.
I
Must
almost
be
said it in a
important.
French accent.
The
The general. I'm gonna bring that back. The general.
There's a lot of generals I could be referencing. There's that one song called The General.
Oh,
There's that car insurance.
I was gonna say the
There's-
commercial
gross.
with the general.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that guy. That's the evil villain.
The short little animated guy who stands next
that's-
to Shaq.
yeah.
I'm gonna imagine that so much. That's who it is.
That's the guy now, thanks. That's
That's exactly what he
the
looks
rest
like.
of this book.
You're welcome. We solved it. That's the mystery. We did it. Also, Zoe almost
Yeah,
knows Percy.
people really do not be sharing information in this book. Like,
Mhm.
everyone's just like, hopefully I'm wrong, but also I don't want to tell anyone about it, even if I might be right about my suspicions about this thing.
Yeah.
It's like, great guys, that's so helpful of you.
We ain't communicating. No communication is good communication. We did it, guys.
Great teamwork. Great teamwork, everyone.
Perfect.
So yeah, Zoe almost fucking runs into Percy, and if, I guess, Chiron hadn't woken up and, like, the lights in the big house hadn't come on, he probably would have gotten punched. Like...
I think Percy was about to get shot with an arrow, because it says that she started to reach for her bow.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
It does. Oh my god. Yeah.
Zoe was 100% ready to shoot someone.
Percy was about to also be the person lost in the land without rain. Because,
It's fine. It's all fine. Oh my goodness. Zoe's just always ready to kill. So...
as she should be. That's her right at this point.
So Percy just, like, comes out of the shadows, is like, hey, Nico, I was invisible, and also watching the entire time.
And Nico's like, wow, cool.
Nico is like all of us reading this at age 10.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
This
like,
is why
whoa,
I
magic.
identify. I love this boy, my son.
He's good in this chapter, I feel like. Like, you get a lot more personality and pathos out of him.
He's not just like, hey, let's nerd out about cards.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Knock
like,
off
hey,
D&D.
It's not even D&D.
It's Rick's bad attempt at combining D&D and like Magic the Gathering or something.
Yeah,
That's a card game,
that's what I
right?
was
That's
saying.
the card one?
It's like, it's cards and figurines, but we don't know how either of these things are used.
Yeah. Matt, we've been talking about this a lot, actually. How do you think Mythomagic works?
I don't think it does actually work if you try to think about it.
You
but
know what? You're probably right.
Isn't,
I think it's across in, like, I think there are some things we've heard in earlier chapters that are, more Dungeons and Dragons elements, but then you also have the cards and the figurines, which are much more Magic the Gathering elements. I think I think Rick just tried to combine two kind of tabletop games that were popular at the time.
I think
Like, my guess is he Googled like what's a popular game or like a tabletop game.
yeah. Isn't
It's something
Rick's
like
like-
super low hanging fruit.
Okay, my feeling, the issue that I have with the way that Mythomagic is set up is that there are figurines for characters and there are cards for characters. What we need is for it to be like some grid-based game with the figurines where the cards are like powers that they can use or something.
that would work.
Yeah, but with the cards also being the characters, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, what is going on here?
It's hard to tell.
Why are there
here.
both?
So I am hoping, because the production company that Rick founded is called Mythomagic. That's what's producing the
That's
TV show.
producing the
So
show.
I'm
That's incredible.
hoping,
I didn't know that. I love that.
I'm hoping that means we will get the game.
I would love that so much. That'd be
Disney,
so hilarious.
you have the power to make the things.
Yeah,
you have to
do
make
some merch this time since
Make-
and if
20th
you
Century
can
Fox
make it
didn't.
like an actual like collectible card game thing, like
I would put
people
so much
spend
money
tons
into
of money in
this.
that shit.
I would fully get into it just because it's Percy Jackson. Like,
I think even like assuming the show does well enough and it gets to this point, like we know Rick has said that he, some of the changes he's making in the script are to flesh out things that he didn't cover well enough in the books. I would fully expect this to be something they do flesh out because they can market it as merchandise.
you just see like Nico
Why
playing
not?
the game in the background and like actually explaining rules and shit.
Suddenly it's Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh my god.
God, I'm 100% on board for that. If the Percy Jackson TV show just becomes card game anime,
Yes. Okay.
I don't even care. That's fine.
If someone hasn't drawn a fan art of like Nico with like the thing, the Yu-Gi-Oh thing on the
dual
arm.
deck.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's called a dual deck, excuse me.
I never watched Yu-Gi-Oh, okay? I am a bad nerd. But like if that isn't a thing where Nico has that with all the Mythomagic cards,
Yeah.
you have
We need
failed.
that.
The fandom has failed if that doesn't already exist. Oh, I would cosplay as that, actually. Anyway. Okay, let's continue.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Percy Jackson.
Yeah, well, we still were. We're just not talking about the chapter.
No, we ended up talking about Nico
Nico-
and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Nico says that he knew that Zoe and Bianca were up because he doesn't sleep well at camp. So when he heard them walking by, he followed them. But like, that's so sad. He's having a rough time. He's just a little guy.
Like, I want to say he's homesick, but he doesn't even... Did he have a home? He was at a boarding school.
He was at a boarding school. All he had was his sister, and he doesn't have his sister anymore.
This poor little
I think
boy.
a big
They
part
left
of
him.
A big part of it probably is that he came to Camp Half-Blood in December when there's like 10 people there.
I think
And so
it's
he doesn't get the
just-
benefit of coming in summer like most campers do where there's, 40 plus campers there. You're coming in and there's next to no one there. The only people you're sharing a cabin with are the Stoll brothers who are
Yeah, I
little
was gonna
shits.
say, it's just Connor and Travis in the cabin right now with Nico.
Didn't we see
Which-
didn't we hear in an earlier chapter that they were trying to teach him poker too? Like,
Okay.
Yeah, the Stoll brothers, I feel like, are probably all right dudes to hang out with, but I don't think that
I wouldn't
want
wanna live with them.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't look to them for emotional support necessarily.
and they're probably not for a 10-year-old, that's not, you don't really want these 14 or 15-year-olds to be your best friends. They're a little too old.
Yeah.
They're not quite your interest level.
Yeah.
But also, if you were in the Hermes cabin in summer, that kind of sucks too, because you hardly can find a space on the floor to sleep.
That's
So-
also true.
yeah.
He does get the
Hermes
benefit of a
cabin.
bed.
I don't know where I heard it, but I heard like somebody on some podcast saying like Nico would be so good at like poker because he likes card games and like he's just that he would have actually smoked the Stoll brothers. I don't know.
I hope he did.
Oh, I think
that
he
would make
would.
me very pleased. Except for that Nico is very trusting, and they're cheating.
that's true.
That they are 100% cheating.
That's fair.
The Stoll brothers are not teaching him poker out of the goodness of their hearts. They're fleecing him.
Oh, they're doing it so they can steal his cash. That's why.
But I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
if they're teaching him poker, like they're not teaching him the right rules either.
That's
Like they're
true.
going to teach him some rule that makes it way easier for them to win.
Okay, now I'm picturing Y'all seen Korra, right? Like,
Yeah.
I
Legend of
have seen the
Korra?
first season.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, like, I want to say it's, like, season, like, 3 or something, where they're playing Pai Sho, and, like, we learned there are different rules of Pai Sho,
Mm-hmm.
and Bolin's like, oh yeah, like, you gotta play like this, like, fast and loose, and Asami's like, no, you have to think about it, and, like, you know, it's like chess. It's like, both of these are correct. Actually.
I think,
That's what I'm imagining here.
technically there are different ways to play poker because poker is a much more broad term for different types of card game, table card games. The one that most people think of as poker, that's, the classic is Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I was imagining there.
But yeah, they're 100% lying to him.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
They're not making it easier for him to try and acclimatize.
Nico
to a
really
new
went
place.
from, like, good sister, like, looking out for him and all this shit to, like, thrown in the doghouse with these two little shits, actually.
Yeah, I think part of it too. I think it's really good writing by Rick. To Nico just kind of mentions it in passing here, but it's kind of like we've seen him in the other chapters. It's like the way he talks and acts is like he makes it seem like he's doing really well, taking everything in stride and all that. It's just him talking to Percy. He's just kind of like, yeah, I'm struggling a little. So I think it's kind of that way of showing is like, yeah, hey, reminder that especially kids, and they may not be telling you the truth right all the time. They may be struggling more, and you need to keep an eye on them.
Especially a kid like this who hasn't had a lot of stability in his life. It seems like his first reaction and defense is to always have a positive attitude so that because he feels like people are going to react better to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's
He's
what
trying
it
to
does
make himself
seem like.
more approachable.
And to not be a burden on his sister, I bet. Yeah, even though, she kind of ends up treating him like he was one anyways.
I bet he picked up on it too, like especially like
Yeah.
when before they were at Westover Hall, wherever they were. My guess is that she because Bianca's just a kid too, so she probably she doesn't have that level of being able to mask it. She probably still lets some truth slip out from time to time, and Nico probably picked up on it. And was like, okay, how can I make this easier for her?
And it's not really either of their faults that it's like that. They're kids in a shitty situation.
She was masking
100%.
herself by wearing a big floppy hat and like hiding
The
her
big
face.
floppy hat, yeah.
Like,
I love the description of her in the beginning of the big floppy hat because we know that's a military school dance, and so the rest of the time they're in uniform.
yeah.
And so we get
that's
introduced
why.
to Bianca trying to hide herself. In a military uniform, you are not hiding yourself at all. So we know that she took the advantage of being out of uniform to hide herself.
Yeah. I don't know why. Now that's making me think of like Violet from The Incredibles. Like that's the look we're going for. And then when she becomes a hunter, it's like Violet with the headband. Like, I'm all confident now.
You're so smart. Yeah, that's literally it.
That's a transformation.
Immortality will do that to you.
It's not the taking off the glasses.
And
it's
also
just
being in
the
a girl gang.
pulling the hair back so people can see you. So, the fact that, like, Percy and Nico are just like, oh, Nico's too young to go on this quest. Is he, though? I mean, he's 10, but, like, children have gone on these quests before. I know
Percy was 12 2 books ago.
Exactly. I'm like,
exactly.
He's not actually too young, but also he's too young as in he hasn't trained at all. So...
Yeah, okay, he has 0 training, and also, Percy was too young to go on that quest. We just have different standards for demigods.
I think the difference is that, like, Percy is the protagonist.
Yeah, big main character energy here from Percy.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, like, part of it is, like, the quest in the Lightning Thief was specifically because Percy was being accused.
Yeah.
So that's why it was his quest,
And he had to
100%. He has to be the one to go. This one is different because there's 5 people going instead of 3. That's a big change.
Zoe's quest.
It's Zoe's quest, and it's a quest for Artemis. And they didn't they made it clear at the ping pong table that they didn't want a guy to go at all. Grover doesn't count apparently, but
I wonder who plays
they didn't
ping
want guys
pong.
to go. So I bet no one plays ping pong at that ping pong table. They just have it because it was a cheap table for conference for council meetings.
Dionysus was like, I'm gonna start playing ping pong, and then like he got it, and then he never used it, and that's what happened. I say this because I definitely would do that.
You have to imagine with this ping pong table, Dionysus has also put like a really old Pac-Man machine in the corner or something.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Like the rec room has to be where Dionysus goes for party mode.
Oh, yeah.
Because he hates his job.
He loves Pac-Man. We stan. So, Percy's going on this quest because he can be invisible. And also, guess who else is coming on the quest?
Blackjack!
Fucking Blackjack!
I think Six shall go west because Blackjack is the most important member. Blackjack is important.
I love this sentence towards the end of the chapter where I ran, putting on Annabeth's cap. Like, why is Percy's first inclinations, I'm gonna run and chase after this van? That's smart. I'm definitely gonna catch up to the van.
Imagine if he did, though. Imagine if this boy was just invisible and he, like, jumped on the back of the van, was just hiding there for, like, hours.
One that, like a couple sentences later, was he gets to the top of the hill and he's like, yeah, I'm kind of stupid. Why did I think I was gonna run after the van?
Yeah. Hey, when you're a demigod, sometimes you just do things and you're like, wow, that worked. Weird. And so I think that
it's the ADHD.
At this point, you'd might as well try.
It is fully the ADHD right here. Just gotta try something. We'll see if it works. Don't know. Yeah.
Well, we know Percy's not really a thinker all the time either. He's much more of a doer.
Yeah.
And so it is 100% in character that he would be like, okay, we're going to try this first, and then it didn't work. It's like, okay, now what? Now that I've tried something, let's stop and think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the chapter, my dudes. Percy and Blackjack are going on a road trip, except it's a sky trip? There's a cat.
Yeah.
You have distracted me
bothersome.
100% now.
So, yeah, sorry. I've derailed the entire episode. Oh, bye. I guess he's leaving.
Well,
this is what happens when I don't close my door.
There's also nothing left to talk about. That is the chapter, my dude. We've done it. We're going on a fucking quest.
It's a short chapter, but a lot
in a reasonable time frame. But we got it in a reasonable time frame, but this chapter is significantly shorter than the others, and so
well, it's a short chapter in terms of, word count, number of pages, but there's important stuff has happened. Like,
Indeed.
This book is written for 8-year-olds, so we as older
Don't
people,
make me feel bad.
I don't want to say adults, but older people have a bet. We can grasp on and understand. It's like, okay, he's setting up important things here.
Sam is the
We're
only
preparing
adult
to go on the quest
on this network. No one else.
Yeah, for real.
The rest of us have to do adulting, but we don't like it.
The rest of us pretend to be adults.
Yeah, literally.
I fake it.
All right. Well, in order to continue with our reasonable time frame, let's get into our plugs. Let's do it.
Yeah. Matt, where can the people find you? And is there any media you would like to plug this week?
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Shaman Nomo. I don't usually talk about a lot of shit on there, but sometimes the occasional random thing will pop up. I usually try to plug our Richmond Symphony Chorus concerts when those come up. By the time this episode comes out, our next one will probably be Halloween weekend. We are doing a concert with the music of Danny Elfman, who wrote a lot of music for the Tim Burton movies. So the way that this is one of my favorite concerts we do is they will put a screen behind us and show parts of the movie, and we, the symphony and the chorus, will do the scoring for those sections of the movie they show. So you have the live music with the movie behind. And so those are always very fun.
Very cool.
Other media for people to actually consume who aren't in Richmond, which is probably a lot of people. I have recently been reading a pentology of books by Conn Iggulden called the Emperor series. It's a 5-book series, fictionalized telling of the life of Emperor Caesar.
Ooh.
And so very much in line with the Greek mythology, Greek and Greco-Roman history. Those are fun books. They're written for the same kind of middle grade reading level that Percy Jackson is. So a fun story, fictionalized slightly to make it a little more entertaining, but they're really good reads.
Very fun.
Cool stuff. I am going to plug a new podcast that some of my friends are doing.
Ooh.
I've made some friends in the Percy Jackson podcaster community. And two of them, Robert and Darian, are doing a Kim Possible podcast called That's the Sitch.
Good.
That's a perfect name.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You should see the art. The art is beautiful. It's of like them as Kim and Ron, and Darian's cat is Rufus, and it's beautiful. I love it so much. And yeah, they've had 2 episodes so far. They're very fun. Yeah, it's just a brand new
really
thing.
Exciting. I also wanted to plug a middle grade book series because that's the kind of reading that I like to do. E.B. Baker's Frog Princess series. Really slaps.
Interesting.
Yes. Okay. So, if you've seen Disney's The Princess and the Frog, they credit the Frog Princess as having inspired it. It has nothing to do with it whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Completely unrelated. It's okay. And I'm assuming that the reason that happened is because they didn't want to get sued. Because the idea that they have taken is that when she kisses the frog, she turns into a frog also. Not even for the same reason as in the movie. It's totally different.
That's funny.
But they're like, okay, we're using this same idea, so we'll credit this book so that, we don't get sued at some point. My issue with that is that what if the Frog Princess series never gets any kind of adaptation because the legal rights are tied up in Disney's bullshit? I don't want that.
That's annoying as shit.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a high fantasy series about, she's a princess and who kisses a frog who says that he's a prince, and she's like, I don't actually believe you, but fine. And then she also turns into a frog. And then they have to go on, frog adventures. I suppose a bit like in the movie, where you're like, well, I'm in a swamp, and being a frog is fucking dangerous as hell.
I would assume they don't mean like an alligator and who plays like the trumpet on a fly.
There's
who
no
wants
alligator, I don't
star.
think. In the first book, she does eventually make a friend with a snake who she meets in a witch's cottage, which I love, because he absolutely was planning on eating her. And then they were like, we're buds.
That's actually great, though.
Yeah. I think they meet some spiders. But I really like the magic system in those books. The series deals a lot with, like, dragons later on, and those are very fun.
All right.
The characters are really charming. I definitely recommend those. If you like, some fantasy, some relatable, easy, middle grade reading. I think those are really good.
Very cool. I like that. Oh, well, my dudes, if that is all, then
we done it.
We did do it. Now I guess
we did the thing.
I guess I'm gonna go rescue a baby cow serpent from like the bottom of the ocean or something. I don't know, but either way, get out of my fucking cabin.
That's fine. Matt and I will go back to our own cabin. We don't need you.
Party in cabin 12.
It's always a party there.
And we know how to throw a party. You can find this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send an iris message to us through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about episodes and anything Percy Jackson related. Our $5 Patreon tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology. No promises. You can check out our merch store on TeePublic to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or, if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can find me, Ray, at HeyHeyRay, spelled R-A-Y-E, on Twitter. If you want to hear more from me, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter, I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram that I sometimes use at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel Charlie Mack, that's MACK, and I also have another podcast on the network called Fandoms Gone Wrong, where my mom and I talk about movies, TV shows, books, whatever other fandoms we enjoy. You can find that on all the major podcasting apps. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast.
Of the Oldest Gods is proud to be part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Content and Capable that follows Sam as he tries to figure out what it truly means to adult.
Hi, my name's Sam, and I've recently become an adult. But why does adulting have to suck? Join me on my journey to rediscover the joy of following your passions as an adult, and discuss it with people who are doing just that. I'll sit down with a variety of people from all walks of life and ask the important questions while trying to figure out what does it really mean to adult. Whether you're a pro or haven't even started, come and listen wherever you get your podcasts, and hopefully you might learn a thing or two.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
And you know your line, Matt. You're all set. I'm gonna trust you.
That's a bad idea.
All right.
Never trust me.
Deus Ex Media.